Hello and welcome to your 90-day success camp. Woo! AJ Ackerman here and welcome to Experience Life Coaching and Training. Yeah, I know that was a lot, but we're on week 4. Wow, can you believe it? It's been 30 days since you've decided to make a change in your life to help build your business and your life. And it's critical that we get today right, because what happens is almost 95% of people have already quit. 95% of people have stopped doing the things that they believe will help them get to the next level. But I know that's not you. Congratulations for being here. You made it. And I want to make sure that you have some time right now to print your workbook. Please do me a favor. If you haven't done it yet, go back to the email and print out your workbook. Today is going to be super powerful to help us continue to push forward. Because like I said, the next 2 weeks are pivotal for you to achieve the level of success that you want. You've got big agents out there want to make 6 figures in this business. It takes consistency, it takes work, it takes focusing on the 8 most important areas. So as we continue to go through these, please make sure that you're writing good notes, that you're thinking, you're paying attention. No distractions, please. This is about you becoming successful in your life and your business. And I really hope that you're not one of those people that's going, oh yeah, we're seeing these again. No, you gotta make sure that you're continuing to focus, right? Just because we're continuing to repeat them and go through them doesn't mean that you're taking action on them. Action, 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 right? Success only happens if you're taking action towards it. So how's your action been lately? Have you been doing your success work? Have you been doing the things that you know that you need to do to help you get to the next level? Are you doing the things that are uncomfortable? I've been working with a lot of people lately, one-on-one, working on calling through that phone list, right? Going through your phone and calling everyone, having a conversation, enjoying it, right? It's so important. One of the challenges today is that today, when we're done with this week's module and with the Q&A, I want you to call 5 people. Yep, before noon, you need to call 5 people today from your phone, from your CRM, from Facebook, whatever it is, because it's time. I want to help you create, sustain, where am I at? Woo! We want to help you create and sustain momentum in your real estate business. It's about helping you create clarity, growth, and success. And are you serious about your success, right? How serious are you about making change? How serious are you about building a successful real estate business? How serious are you to live the dream lifestyle you want? It's an important question because we're all in, that you're ready to go no matter what. You have burned the boats. You can't go back. Are you not serious, right? Do you need to start really considering if real estate's for you? Well, guess what? I'm here to tell you that anyone can be successful in real estate if you put the time, the energy, the focus, right? I always tell people, results come at some point. If you're doing the work, if you're following your tracker, if you're making the calls, going on the appointments, if you're improving what you're doing, focused on personal growth, you're going to hit your results at some point. We just don't know when, right? But it always happens at some point. It's a front-end loaded business. Everything you do in the next 90 days, everything you do over the next 6 months, well, you'll get the results in the next 6 months, in the next year. I've been pushing a lot of people's goals, right? I've been helping people say, okay, what's your goal this year? And they tell me, and I always add 4, 5, 6 sales, because it's about shooting for the stretch goal. Because most people, if you set a stretch goal, most people typically fall short. But if you fall short from your stretch and you still hit your goal, are you going to be excited? Are you going to have enthusiasm? Yes. So please, it's time to get serious about your business. It's time to get serious about your life. And are you serious and ready to take your business to the next level? And remember, it's about the 8 most important things, right? Please remember these. 1, be enthusiastic. Every day, you need to be excited about helping people. You need to be excited about personal growth. You need to be excited about improving. You need to be excited about getting no's. If you hear a lot of no's from people, you're 1 no away from getting that yes. You need to be excited about learning. Enthusiasm is so key because it's about feelings. It's about helping people feel your enthusiasm. And you got to be excited about making those calls. I know you got this. But please keep thinking about this every day when you wake up. You need to be excited about living your life. Second one, open. Continue to stay open and vulnerable. I know this is a little bit difficult sometimes, but remember, there's always a way to grow. There's always a way to be better, to be the best version of yourselves. We're going to be uncomfortable no matter what. Whether things are really stressful or things are super successful, there's always going to be a struggle, right? There's always going to be an obstacle, and you got to stay open to change, to opportunity, okay? Really, again, key. Third one, great learner. Oh, so many of you are doing a great job. I love getting those texts where I watched your video 3 times. I'm working really hard at my listing presentation. I'm making my calls. I even like the ones that are like, I haven't been doing my tracker, right? I love the honesty. I love the upfrontness. It's important because that's the awareness piece, right? If you're being honest with yourself, then you're more likely to make a decision to continue to push forward through those tough times, through the struggle, because if you're brand new, you're going to go through a lot of struggle. The first year is extremely difficult, but as you start seeing those little successes, your confidence will build. We're going to get more into that. If you're an experienced agent and you plateau, like I can see where real estate gets boring, where if you're not seeing new results, new excitement, right? If you're not pushing yourself to get to the next level, then what's it for, right? I love seeing a lot of the experienced agents right now pushing themselves to hit that 6-figure mark. And because it's so funny, I love the fact one of the people I'm coaching right now started making calls again. And it happens every single time where she came up and was like, AJ, I made these calls and guess what? I got a relationship and I had fun doing it and it works. Yes, it works. When you take action, it works, right? You just got to keep doing it and focus on how to do that the best way. Fourth, challenge. Keep challenging yourself. Keep pushing. The next 2 weeks, I'm going to be pushing you even harder. It's time. The time is now to challenge yourself, to do the work. Please. You're going to be thanking yourself in the next 60 days if you start continuing to do this consistently and just push yourself out of your comfort zone. Like I said, today, make those 5 calls. If you're not afraid to make calls or you're not making any calls, make 5 calls today. Be excited about it. Be open about it. And just enjoy it. Have some nice conversations. And if real estate comes up, great. But get in the habit of relationships again. And that's not next. We're helping you create new habits. You've already created a new habit of training every week. You've created a new habit of pushing yourself every week, of being excited. These habits, we're 30 days in right now, so some of you are already starting to get more comfortable with a lot of the new habits. You keep doing this over the next 30 days, you're going to see magic happen. In relationships. Relationships are the name of the game. You got to create, build, and maintain exceptional relationships in order to build your real estate business, in order to enjoy your life. And some of you are doing a great job with this, especially if you're going through your phone, if you're sending those thank you cards out, if you're dropping by people's businesses or their homes or doing lunch or breakfast. Relationships are the number one thing you should be focused on every single day. In your schedule, you should have at least 4 hours blocked out for relationship time, whether that is calling, social media, texting, email, whatever it is that's helping create conversation. Because every conversation is an opportunity. Every relationship is an opportunity to help you grow your business the way that you want, to help you help more people buy and sell homes. I believe in you. You got this. Relationships are so key. That's why that tracker is important, because if you hit your numbers, you will get the results. Next one, 7, confidence. Creating confidence. People feel it, right? And the more successes you have, the more you push yourself, the more confidence you're going to have. And today we're going to be talking a little bit more about creating confidence. You're going to love it. Number 8, fun and enjoy. Have fun no matter what. Enjoy no matter what. You know, we all get so caught up with self-talk sometimes, with self-doubt. I have the same stuff happen. Almost every single day there's a moment or two where something comes in and is like, am I doing the right thing? Am I good enough? Am I qualified? Like, why didn't I get this one deal? Why did they just choose to work with somebody else? Why didn't they sign up for the monthly mastery program, right? It happens to everyone. But when you're focusing on having fun and enjoying what you do, and you believe that if somebody does work with you, you're the best person for them, it's easy to get past those. And we're going to talk a lot today about that to help you, because a lot of you right now, you're going to plateau. You're getting stuck. You're trying to decide if you're going to keep pushing forward. I'm here to tell you you can, but we got to focus on what we're going to do to help you do that. And I don't want to give it away just yet, but remember, it's about the 8 most important things that we want to create, that we want to become over the next 60 days, because we're already 30 days in. And I believe in my heart that you've grown somewhere. We're going to talk about that. Clarity, growth, and success. It's about experiencing your vision. It's about training, and it's about challenging yourself to create all 3 of those. And we're going to start with clarity. It's time to reflect and review. You know how this goes. What were your top 3 successes last week? What were they? I want you to take just a minute and write them down, and I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to just feel what that success felt like. I want you to define it. I want you to allow it to sit into your subconscious, because the goal is every day is to reach for those successes, is to replicate those successes, is to remember what that felt like, because we all have successes, right? No matter how big or how small they are. And as you continue to feel those successes, the more successes you're gonna have. And guess what? I truly believe in the last 30 days that you've grown, right? You may not see the results yet, and I bet most of you haven't, right? Maybe you haven't gotten that listing yet or gotten that buyer under contract, but you've grown, you've improved. If you've been paying attention, if you've been watching the videos, if you've been doing your success work, there's been a change. You're starting to become that person that you need to be in order to have the results that you want, right? We talked about where are you now? Where do you want to be? And what's most important is that you have to become that person that has what you want. You're starting to become that. So congratulations. Like I said, celebrate. I hope you had a great long weekend. We just got done with Memorial Weekend. I hope you enjoyed that time with your friends, with your family. I hope you're thinking more about your business and making those shifts that you need to make in order to continue to adjust. I'm constantly adjusting my direction. If I see something that's working real well, I'll put more time and energy in it. If I see something's not working well over a period of time, I'll adjust and kind of play with it a little bit. You should be doing the same thing, and that's why we're reflecting and reviewing. The second one, what were your top 3 struggles last week? Again, we all have struggles. We all have obstacles. We have things that get in the way. We have things that allow us, or we choose to have less productivity because of it, right? Did you lose a deal? How long did you spend talking about it with others? How long did you spend mulling it over? Or did you say, you know what? I lost this one. What can I do better next time? And you got on the phone and you got another appointment. That's the attitude you got to have. That's the focus that you have to have. Next week is going to be all about focus. You're going to see, I'm sending a video out on Monday that's going to be all about it. But it's about focus. It's about where your energy goes, right? It's whatever we think about is where the energy goes. And it's so important that if we got to acknowledge the struggle, but we got to make sure that we're not having the same struggle over and over and over again, because it's going to crush your productivity. It's going to crush your dreams. And so the more that we face those struggles, the better we're going to get. The more that we attack and lean in to those struggles, the better we are to get back on track. And my goal is to keep you on track, to keep you on the path to success, to keep you on the path of where you want to go and where you want to be in 12 months. Where do you want to be in 3 years? I was just talking to my coach this morning about where do I want to be in 10 years, right? We got to have that vision. We got to have that understanding, and we have to make sure that we continue to course correct so that we can get there. Cool? Awesome. I know I spent a lot of time on this today, but I want to make sure that this is sinking in. It's about creating new habits, helping your subconscious handle life and business better. And this is how we do it. So, what's stopping you? What's stopping you from achieving the level of success that you want? What's stopping you from doing your success work? What are you afraid of, right? What is that one fear? What is it? So there's always something that's stopping you. I want you to take a minute and just jot down really quick. What do you think is stopping you from creating your real estate business, from taking action, right? Is it a fear? What fears do you have? What struggles do you have? That one's a little slow, isn't it? What's stopping you? Is it a fear? Is it a limiting belief? Is it a struggle? Is it an excuse? Right? We all have excuses, don't we? The question is, do we believe the excuses? Do we allow the excuses to control what we do on a daily basis? Right? Tough stuff. But like I said, the first 30 days is about mastering this. It's about crushing it. It's about being aware, because in the next 30 days, we're going to be doing a lot about people skills, about communication. We're going to start diving deep about how do you connect with people? How do you build rapport? How do you get people to like, know, and trust you? Because we're in the people business. And I love talking about that stuff because it's so important. But it's really tough sometimes to be working on all those relationships when you have a lot of this getting in the way. So we got to start getting in front of it, okay? Now, fears, struggles, excuses. What are yours? We're going to take some time here, and I want you to think about every fear that you've ever had. Every fear that you think that you have that's stopping you from achieving your dreams. Every struggle that you've had or you have now. What fears do you have right now? What struggles do you have right now? What are your biggest excuses right now? We're going to dive a little bit deeper in here, but I want you to take some time and just write everything down you can think of, right? Are you afraid to talk to people on the phone? Are you afraid to take this next step? Like, what is your excuse, right? Do you have an excuse? Why aren't you doing any sort of social media or open houses or mailing letters, or like, what are your reasons? Fears, struggles, and excuses. That's usually what's holding you back. Our goal is to help you continue to push forward. So I'm going to go back for a second. What's stopping you, and what are you afraid of? And again, I want to be here for a minute. I want this to really soak in. I want you to create some serious awareness right now, because you start mastering your fears and your struggles and those excuses. You stop allowing excuses to control you, and you use that opportunity to create confidence, to push through it, right? Whenever I hear an excuse now, I'm like, oh, that's such an excuse. You know, like for instance, missing the gym one day, right? Maybe I missed the gym because the kids were up, you know, a couple times that night. Or maybe I'm just a little more tired. Or maybe because it's leg day. You ever miss leg day? What was the excuse? The excuse was BS, right? That wasn't a good excuse to miss. A good excuse to miss gym day would be maybe getting into a car accident on the way there, right? Or you have a family emergency, or you know, something comes up that's an actual good reason that you missed something. We're so full of excuses. I get so frustrated with excuses, just so you know. I get frustrated with myself. I get frustrated with you. I get frustrated when people just continue to give excuses of why they're not doing what they need to do. Stop. It's hurting you. It's affecting you. It's keeping you from being the person you want to be and living the life that you want. So what are they? I hope you wrote a bunch of stuff down. What are your fears? What are those struggles? I also want you to think about, what are the fears that you conquered in the past? What are some of those struggles that you've been through, that you made it? You're still here on earth. You're still alive. You've made it through it, right? All of you have been in high school before. I'm pretty sure that you had some sort of struggle during that time frame, some sort of fear, right? Some sort of excuse. What were some that you conquered in the past? See, we have a lot more strength and power than we believe. We just forget about what we've been through, about what we've done. And it's the same thing with real estate. Every single successful real estate agent has been there, has done that. They've gotten the no's. They've been kicked out of a house, right? They've been through the struggles. They've gone months without a closing. I'm here to tell you it happens to every person. But as you continue to fight, as you continue to push, as you continue to challenge, as you continue to take consistent action, the results continue to get better. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about fears. So what are yours? Hope you spent some time writing that down, because we're going to come back to that later. So here's some common fears that keep people from succeeding. Again, this is about awareness. I want you to understand that you're not alone, that we're all in this together. We all face a lot of the same types of issues. A lot of us face similar fears. And once you kind of, again, understand this, then you can look at it. You can plan ahead. You can take action. You can accept exactly what's going on so that you can improve it and you can stay accountable. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help you. If you've got a struggle, if you've got something going on, comment below, email me, like whatever it is, let's face it together. Because once you start destroying these things, again, magic happens. So, common fear, rejection. Are you afraid of rejection? Are you afraid of no? Listen, here's the deal with no's. It sucks, right? It sucks hearing a no. It sucks when somebody hangs up on you. It sucks when you go on a listing appointment and you think you got it and you don't win it. Like, it sucks. But you gotta keep pushing forward because rejection is just part of the process, right? They talk about failure is just part of the process of succeeding. You have to get a lot of rejection in order to learn and gain success. As you continue to grow your conversion ratios, as you get better at communicating, as you get more experienced in real estate and working with buyers and sellers, the rejection will become less and less. But you gotta go through a lot of rejection to get to success. And so you gotta find a way to be okay with it. The thing is that, funny thing is that most no's are just not nows. They're not, it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with who you are as a person or what you think or how you acted. It's just, no is just a not now, or maybe now's not the right time. Fear of rejection will stop you from doing what you need to do every single day. Because if you're afraid of getting a no, then you're not gonna call anyone. You're not gonna knock on any doors. You're not gonna talk to anybody unless it's laid in your lap. And yeah, are you gonna do business in real estate by accident? Of course, but it's that small percentage of your business. Do I have business that falls in my lap? Yeah, maybe 1 to 4 deals a year. You know, what is it for you? Stop waiting for business, take action, and don't be afraid of rejection because it's just part of real estate. It's part of life, right? It's part of sales. You got this. Fear of failure. Are you afraid of doing everything it's gonna take and still failing, right? What's stopping you? Is that stopping you? Are you thinking in your mind that I'm worried that if I do all this stuff and it doesn't work, what am I gonna do? Again, you can only focus and think about one thing at a time. You're either thinking about growth, positivity, productivity, or you're thinking about failure. You're thinking about rejection. You're thinking about all the things that aren't gonna go right. You can only think about one or the other at the same time. So if you're thinking a lot about the fear of failure, here's the thing, is just keep pushing through. Every successful agent goes through it. And I've seen people succeed way beyond what they thought they would. But if you're afraid of failing, you're never gonna take the step. You're never gonna take the step for a long period of time. I mean, new agents get in this business and it's funny. They'll try something for a week and they're like, it doesn't work. Or even a month. Like there are people right now who've done the 30-day success camp and they're like, this doesn't work. No, it works. Have you done absolutely everything that we've taught you to do over the past 30 days? And remember, it's a 90-day success camp. Have you done everything you're supposed to do every single day for 90 days in order to get those results later? That's part of the challenge, is that you've got to take action every day, every week, because the numbers don't lie. Are you afraid of success? Yes, this is a real thing. There are people that are afraid to be successful because what success is gonna bring, right? I love, what is that saying? More money, more problems, right? I mean, that is a real saying. The more successful you get, you change your life. Again, there's different types of struggles, different types of obstacles, different things that happen. You know, don't be afraid of being successful, especially if you're a great learner. Because if you become that great learner and you're in the habit of learning as you go, you're gonna figure out how to handle those things, right? That's what confidence is. Confidence is the ability to figure things out as you continue to push through all of this stuff. So, are you afraid of rejection? Are you afraid of failure? Are you afraid of success? Are you afraid of speaking in front of people? Oh, it's like what, the #1 fear that most people have? Are you afraid of having a conversation face to face? Are you afraid of going on that listing appointment because you're really not sure how to do it? The fear of speaking is very real. So how do we get past some of these fears? Well, guess what? We're going to talk about that next. But I want you to kind of think about, as we're going through each of these, and circle which one is like what's the one or two that are really the biggest thing for you right now, do you think? And what are one or two that you got no problem with? That you're like, fear of failure? Psh, I'm not afraid of failing. Like, I'm ready to rock this thing out. I know if I do this stuff every day that I'm going to get the results because AJ said so. That's how I was able to push through. One, I was not afraid of rejection. I didn't care if I got 100 no's. I knew that eventually I would get a yes. And it's funny, as you continue to improve your communication skills, you'll start turning some of those no's into yeses over time, right? Just because you call someone today and they say no, doesn't mean they're not going to be ready to do something in a month, in 6 months, in a year. No just means not now, right? Rejection, failure. I was not afraid of failing because I already failed. I had lost everything I owned, right? I'm sure that you've been in a worse off position in the past than you are now, and you made it through that. Are you afraid of success? Nope. I'll take on whatever comes, right? Because preparing yourself, learning how to handle these type of things and adjust will help you handle that as well. And speaking, practice, practice, practice. Memorize script. Talk out loud to yourself. I used to pace in the office in the morning. I would get to the office about, 6:30, 7 a.m. back then, and I would literally spend an hour shouting out affirmations, right? Shouting out scripts out loud, speaking out loud. In the camera, I remember when I first started shooting video, I was reading from a teleprompter, right? Practice, practice, practice. If you have a fear of speaking, go speak. Here's the real secret. If you got a fear of something, if you have an excuse, just go out and do it. Push yourself to take that step. Because once you do it, you realize it's not as bad. What happens is that we allow fears to sink in, to take a hold of us. Some of you have been afraid of something for years, right? Some of these, you've been holding on to these since high school, since middle school. You've got to start facing it because the longer it sits, the stronger it gets. The harder it gets to take the step, to move forward, to succeed. But as soon as you start taking those adjustments, as soon as you start seeing that fear is not real, it's amazing how fast you start moving in the right direction. Change. Are you afraid of change? So many people are afraid of change. Guess what? Change is a part of life. It's about seasons. We all go through our different seasons, and change is required in order to grow. Change is required in order to become who you need to be. So you need to embrace change, right? Does the market change? Does pricing change? Does so many things change that you gotta be ready for change. You gotta be okay with change. And if you're afraid of changing, then we gotta face that. We gotta figure out why. Why are you afraid of change, okay? Uncertainty, the fear of uncertainty, the fear of the unknown, the what ifs. Oh my gosh, what ifs. I love hearing about well, what if it doesn't work? What if I do all of this? We talked about this earlier. What if I do all this work and I'm still in the same spot? What if I get rejected? What if? Well, let's rephrase that. Every time you hear yourself say what if, and it's a negative, like what if this doesn't work, or what if I don't get it? What if I don't talk to anybody? What if I make all these calls and I get blah, blah, blah? I want you to switch it. As soon as it happens, I want you to take out a piece of paper and write out what if, and I want you to do the opposite. I want you to do, what if it does work? What if you do get a new listing? What if you do change somebody's life? What if you do become the best version of yourself? See, it's a mindset. We talked about mindset and salesmanship, about the importance of 80% is mindset. As we continue to help change the way you think, the way your thoughts are, this is still part of that. Fear is something that happens inside of you, right? And there are some legitimate fears, obviously, right? But we're talking about fears that are holding you back, fears that are keeping you from doing the things you need to do. And stop being afraid of uncertainty, because life is uncertainty, right? We could be walking out and something happened to us today that we don't even realize, right? Please make sure and figure out which one of these is happening to you. Being judged, everybody, we're all judges, right? We're all judges and jury in our minds. So are you afraid of being judged by your friends, by your family. Here's one of the things this is one of the big ones, is that I don't want to be an old school salesman, or I don't want to be a car salesman. You're not. You're in real estate. You're helping people buy and sell homes, right? If anybody ever says, well, you're in sales in a negative tone, be like, yeah, I'm in sales. I'm in customer service. I get to help people buy and sell homes. I get to help people buy their dream home. I get to help people with the biggest investment of their life, typically. Like, there's a difference in how you think about it, how you act towards it. What kind of power do you give these fears? And are you facing them in your mind, right? I always look at it as like there's a battle in your mind, right? And you got your sword and you're ready to go to battle, and your fears are here going against you. Are you sticking in? Are you going all the way through round 12, right? Because that's what it's gonna take. I just saw a thing on Rocky, so that's why round 12 just came out. Great movie series, by the way, but being judged, fear of getting hurt. Are you afraid of getting hurt? Are you afraid of your feelings being hurt? Right? This is one of the things that I suffered with, was I was always afraid to say something or to be bold and be courageous, because I was always afraid of getting hurt back. That was just a fear, right? That was just an assumption, and I found that the more bold and courageous that you are, the more of becoming who you truly are and just being honest with people in a positive, upbeat, friendly way, a lot of magic happens. So, are you afraid of getting hurt? Are you afraid of being inadequate? Like, are you afraid that you're not good enough? I am here to tell you that you are good enough, that you do have the ability to help people, that you have so much to offer this world. You have so much to offer yourself, the people around you. But you gotta get up. You gotta get up every day. You gotta put on that smile. You gotta clean yourself. You gotta take action, and you gotta put yourself out there. You gotta be extremely vulnerable in order to get great results. And I know it's not easy. I'm not expecting you to change today. What I'm expecting is that you put a little time and effort in thinking about it. What I'm expecting is that you create some awareness and admit to yourself, look in the mirror and call it out. Be like, I am afraid of rejection. I'm okay if you say that once. And no more. After today, I am no longer gonna be afraid. I am a great person. I believe in my ability to help people. I know that I can, and I am not afraid anymore. I am a confident, exciting person, and I'm ready to take this day. See the difference? That's my challenge to you today, is that we don't want to dwell on all of this stuff, but the idea is to help you create some awareness, to help you create some little tactics so that 30 days from now, I want you to be talking about a new fear that comes up. Because I'm here to tell you that fear never goes away fully, right? There's always gonna be something. It's how you handle it. Are you afraid of not knowing? Oh, this is the big one for my brand new real estate agents. Are you afraid of not knowing enough? Guess what? You don't know enough, and you're not gonna know enough to get your first deal. That's why it's so important to have a coach, to have a mentor, to have support, to have somebody that you can work with, because that's going to be the magic for you. When I first got in the business, I was very fortunate. I was working with someone who'd been in the business for 30 years. And so I had somebody I could talk to at any time of the day that I needed. And so when I went on an appointment and then they asked me a question and I didn't know, I said, I don't know the answer to that, but I work with a great group of people. Let me check with my broker. Let me check with one of the top agents, and I'll get back to you by tomorrow morning. I always put dates, right? I'll get back to you within a certain time frame. That's one of the things that I will talk about in the future, is about promising. Always promise something and keep your promise. That helps build connection. Little secret for you today. But stop being afraid of not knowing. If you don't know something, go figure it out. Ask somebody about it. But be honest with people. Just flat out say, I don't know. Don't be one of those people that makes up an answer in your mind, right? Because if you're wrong, that's even worse. So make sure that you go ahead and let people know that you don't know. But again, it's just a fear. It's something that's stopping you. If you don't know how to talk to people and you're not talking to people because you don't know how to do it, you're not going to get any results. You're not going to learn. And so please, please, please work on those fears. Work on those doubts. Are you afraid of disappointment? Are you afraid you're going to disappoint somebody or you're going to disappoint yourself? Success is never disappointing. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're never going to please everybody. There's always going to be somebody out there that you're not going to please, that's not going to like you, that doesn't want to work with you, that's not a good fit. That's just called life. It's called humanity. We're not all going to connect with everyone. Not everyone's going to share their enjoyment with us. That's why one of the things, you're a sum total of the 5 closest people to you. I'm sure you've heard that before. What happens is that when you grow out of that group, the people try to keep you in that group, right? They don't want you to leave because it makes them uncomfortable, because it shows them of being non-successful. And so you got to be so careful of who you surround yourself and understand that as you grow, your network's going to grow. The type of people you hang out with grow, and life is going to change a lot, okay? I had to make a big decision in 2008. I made a big change, and I lost a lot of friends because I decided to make that change. People that I thought I would be friends with forever. It was a very difficult time for me, but I pushed through it. And look what happened. By making that change and making the decision to go into a different direction, to be more positive, to focus on more successful stuff, to change my life, has brought me here where I have a beautiful wife, 2 wonderful kids, a wonderful business, love helping people. You can do the same thing too. Gotta face the fears. We got one last, and the fear of missing out. You're always gonna miss out on something. Everything's a choice, right? You either go to your kid's baseball game or you can stay late at work. You're gonna miss out on something, right? You gotta make a choice. What's most important to you, and you gotta be okay with missing out on something, but you gotta determine what the big goal is, the big vision. And that's why experiencing your vision, when you have extreme clarity about your vision, it's a lot easier to make decisions on what's most important, and you don't have that fear of missing out anymore because you're just like okay with it. You know what? This is most important. It's life. This is my life. I'm going to enjoy it the way I want to enjoy it, and I'm going to experience it the way I want to experience it. So these are not all the possible fears, but this is just a nice long list of what's stopping you. Let me see if I can go back real quick. What's stopping you and what are you afraid of? Oh, now I gotta wait for the sparkle again. Fears, struggles, and excuses. What are yours? Is it rejection? Is it failure? Is it success? Is it speaking? Change? Is it multiple ones, right? You may have multiple ones. Let's start attacking each one individually. Is it uncertainty, being judged, getting hurt? Is it inadequacy or not knowing? Disappointment and missing out. Here's the cool thing is when you start leaning into these fears, when you start attacking them, when you start making the change, it's easier to handle the other ones. That's the little secret. And how do you face your fears? So let's get into a little bit about what we do now, right? What can we do, AJ, to face this? I do have a fear of not knowing. I do have a fear of rejection, but I don't really know how to handle it. Like I don't know what to do to take action towards improving and facing those fears. So create confidence. What I have found that works the best when I have an excuse or when I have a fear or I'm struggling with something is that it's because I'm not confident in it. That's why confidence is one of the most important areas over the next 90 days, is because what I've learned is that if you learn how to create confidence in an area that you're fearful of, the fear goes away. You just wake up one day and you're not afraid. And it's so light, it's airy, it's loving. Like true confidence in something is such an amazing feeling because you're not spending your energy worrying, full of anxiety, stressed out. One of the things when I know that there's a fear creeping in or when I know that I'm not confident in something is when I'm most anxious, when I have the most amount of stress because I'm not understanding, right? It's just about understanding. You're not understanding or you're allowing someone else to affect you, right? Or it's because you're making bad decisions. You're not taking action. How many of you didn't take action last week and are mad about it? It's totally cool. I want you to get mad. I want you to get angry, but I don't want you to sit on the couch. I don't want you to sit and watch TV for 6 hours. I don't want you to sit and think about all the reasons why something's not working. I want you to create confidence. And this is how we're going to do it. So, how to create confidence. This is a great way to help you push through these things. Oh, I love that. 1, learn. Learning is the beginning step of creating confidence. And when I mean learn, I mean dive in. I mean like, I want you to learn like crazy, especially when you pinpoint one area. Like if you're afraid of rejection, I want you to think about all the different ways that you can learn to handle rejection. Google it, right? Read articles on it. Find books about feeling comfortable with rejection, sales books. How do you communicate better? Like watch, read, or listen. So here's a fun little thing that I like to do. When I first got into real estate, I'll give you an example. When I first got into real estate, after about, I want to say maybe 3 months or so, I was like, I want to learn everything I can about real estate. So what I did was I ordered like 5 books. I ordered maybe two 90-day success camps. I ordered everything I could to learn, and I just dove into it. And I learned everything I could over 30, 60, 90 days to help me push through. And every time I learned something new, a new thing came up. So I want you to watch, read. There's TED Talks, there's YouTube, books you can listen to, you can read. Once you pinpoint the fear, once you pinpoint the biggest struggle, once you realize that there's that one thing that you know right now that if you could create confidence in, that you could learn more of, that you can get better at, that will change the trajectory of your life, that will help you become the person you need to be, dive into it. Like, I want you to just engulf yourself in it, because that's how you get to the next levels. You gotta learn something new. You gotta learn how to change. You gotta learn to be different. If you think that calling is gonna help you get there, I want you to become the best caller ever, right? I want you to be the best cold caller, the best FISBO, the best expired, the best phone person on your cell phone, whatever it is. But the first step is learning. Watch, read, and or listen. 2, take lots of notes. Take lots of notes. Journal everything. Like, I believe in writing every thought down that you possibly can, especially when you're first trying to get moving forward. You have a negative thought today, write it down and be like, you know what? That's just a thought. That's just a fear. That's just something that I'm thinking that's not real. Right? When you start putting things out on paper from your mind onto paper and you start speaking it, you start facing it. And we talked about facing your fears. So I want you to learn. While you're learning, I want you to write lots of notes. Right? That's how it sinks in. It's funny because I like to have books. Right? I like to read from a book because I write all over it. If you've ever borrowed a book from me, or if you ever, actually I don't even know if I have any right now, but if you ever get a book from me, you'll see that I write notes in the margins. I highlight, I circle, I do all kinds of stuff to it because I'm allowing it to sink in. When something's really important to me, I write it down because I want it to sit in my subconscious. I want to move forward. I want to make a difference. And so take lots of notes. 3rd, create your plan. Create your plan. Learn, take lots of notes, and now that you've learned something, now that you get excited about something, now that you're ready to make a change, like you've decided in your mind, I'm ready to make a change. The next 30 days is going to be amazing. You got to create your plan and you got to write it out. What is your plan to face your fears, to move forward, to handle those struggles over the next 30 days, and write a detailed plan out. If you need to, after you write your plan out, share it with somebody. Share it with your coach. Share it with somebody who you can be accountable with that may help you adjust the plan a little bit. And if you don't know what to do for your plan, again, search for the answers. There's so much out there to be able to watch and learn to help you out. The 4th, implement your plan. Oh, you got to take action now. Yep. Now you got to take action. So once you've decided on a plan and you believe it's the best plan to help you, you got to take consistent action. I like to use the gym a lot again. So the gym, right? What happens? We want to get in better shape, but we don't know how to, right? So what would I do? And I've done this before, is I go buy 3 or 4 books about being in physical shape, right? I'll learn about what gym should I go to? How much does it cost? Should I get a trainer? Do I need a trainer? I'm going to learn everything I can about get physically fit. I'm going to take lots of notes. Then I'm going to create a plan saying, okay, I like this piece, but I don't like this piece. I'm ready to do this, not ready to do this. Right? I'm not ready to go to the gym 7 days a week. I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week. Right? You create the plan. Then you got to implement the plan consistently until it works. Every plan works as long as you continually do it. So again, to give you an example, I know someone who built their real estate business in social media, one out of very many, all right? But they consistently worked their social media for 2 years before it exploded, all right? One of the ways that I built my business back in 2010, 11, 12 was through Trulia. I had a plan. I worked my plan. I stayed consistent. I was on it every single day. And in a year and a half, I was the #1 agent in my city on Trulia. I was generating somewhere between 60 and 90 leads a month. It was insane, but it took me a year and a half. So that's why I'm saying it's so important to understand how success works, because it's gotta take that consistent action, the dedication. And here's what happens, and here's why pretty much every single person fails in any business, is because they stop. Because you create this momentum, you get started, you do it for 30, 60, 90, even 6 months sometimes, and you change too fast. Or you stop doing what you were doing consistently. Now you gotta start over. Please, it's time to stop starting over. Consistency creates magic in real estate. And so really important that whatever your plan is, you're willing to do it for the long haul, right? And you're willing to do these things every day, just like tying your shoes, just like getting in your car and driving somewhere, just like the cup of coffee that you have, just like when you sit down and watch TV. You gotta be willing to do it every day, and you gotta swap those negative habits out. That's why we talked about creating new habits to help you, and that's part of implementing the plan. So get ready to take massive action. 5, track and measure. Is this starting to sound familiar, right? That's why you have your weekly tracker. Your weekly tracker is in place to help you create confidence, to help you make adjustments. You've got to track and measure. If you're not tracking and measuring your results, then how do you know if you're doing the right things or not? So just like going to the gym, right? When you go to the gym, you track, maybe you're tracking your weight. And there's gonna be some weeks that you lose more than others. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those like weight loss shows, but like, it's funny, you'll see somebody come in, it's like, lose weight in a year. There was one, I can't remember what it was called. It was great, but they were with them for like a whole year. And it's funny because every person was different, whether they were male or female, whether how big they were, how much working out they did, depending on how they ate, but they tracked and measured. And when they could see very clearly if somebody wasn't losing the amount of weight they were supposed to, they knew something was up. They were either sneaking donuts in, right? Or they weren't working out hard enough. That's why the weekly tracker's key, is because it keeps you honest. It keeps you focused. It helps you realize, are you doing the right things? I'm gonna be pushing that weekly tracker a lot, just so everyone knows over the next few weeks, because it is so key for us to understand where to best help you, but to help you create the confidence, to help you see what you're doing, because it freaking works, all right? So track, measure, reflect, and review. We're already doing a lot of this stuff. This is a plan to help you grow in any area of life, to create confidence in, again, being physically fit, to maybe start meditating, to eat right, to spend more time with the family, to be a better husband or wife. Like this right here works. One of the things is my wife and I had a really tough time last year. Like we were literally on the verge of getting divorced. But guess what? We love each other. We care about each other. And so we had to have hard conversations. We had to adjust. We went and got a relationship coach. We read books on relationships. We worked together to improve it. And guess what? My marriage right now is the best it's ever been. I absolutely love and adore my wife. I'm falling back in love with her. But it takes work, right? I didn't believe that not too long ago. But I knew that we had to create confidence in our life again. We had to face the struggles and the fears. So important. Number 6, improve and adjust. So this is where you make the improvements, right? You learn, you get excited, you read a book, you believe in it, you take lots of notes, you come up with that awesome plan, you take action towards that plan, you track and measure, and you know what? Oh, wait, this isn't quite working as well, or this is working great. That's when you can improve and adjust, right? You continually improve and adjust to help you get better at all of these things, which requires learning again. And that's where it is. 7, you got to repeat. Repeat, repeat, repeat. I know it sounds boring, sounds tedious, but it's part of the process. When you go on that expensive vacation next year, you're going to be thanking yourself that you did this. When you buy that new car, when you buy the house that you wanted, when you have enough money in savings that you don't have to worry about living month to month. This is what's required to get there, is that you got to do this and repeat it over and over and over again. It can be fun. We talked about one of the most important things is having fun and enjoying it. You can make this fun. And I'm telling you, it's very fun when you start growing and you see the difference and you start implementing this in other areas of your life. So, how to create confidence? 1, learn. So here would be the thing, whatever it is you want to learn, you need to go out and buy at least 3 to 5 books about it. You need to watch a few YouTube videos about it. You need to find who is the best person in that area and try to see if you can get a coaching or training program from them. Watch free TED Talks. Whatever it is, I want you to learn as much as you can about that area for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it takes. You can usually learn enough in 2 weeks to help you get to the next level. Take lots of notes. Create your plan. Create a plan that you're willing to do. We talked about what are you willing to start doing and what are you willing to stop doing. We're going to get to that in a second. Implement your plan, track and measure. So a lot of people get to here, right? They learn and then they don't do anything after that. It's just like when we talked about sales statistics and salesmanship, where most of the agents only call people once, and then there's a smaller percentage that call people twice. There's an even smaller percentage that calls people 3 times. Most sales happen on the 6th to 12th call, I think it was, and only a small percentage of people are willing to do it. It's the same here. You gotta push yourself to do each and every one of these. Learn, take notes, create your plan, take action, track and measure, improve, and repeat. And the cool thing is you've been with me for 4 weeks already. Some of you even longer. And you're already starting to do this. The reason we're doing this in week 4 is because a lot of you are off track. You're not taking the action, right? I want you to succeed. I want you to feel that success. I'm patient. I know it's gonna take time, but that's why you're here. You're here for the accountability. You're here for me to tell you you're not doing enough. But you gotta believe that you can do it for yourself, okay? Awesome. But the struggle is real. It's funny, I can't even believe I put this up here. We gotta ask ourselves powerful questions, all right? Growth, creating confidence. What did you learn last week? Well, oh, that's fun. What did you learn last week? What did you learn last week that you're proud of? What was one thing that you learned that was a little different? What did you need to improve this week? So we just went through a lot of information about fear and struggles, and you should have a clear understanding right now of what's most important for you to take steps over the next week, over the next 30 days. So what did you learn last week? What did you improve this week? And what is your biggest fear and excuse? What is it? Out of all of the stuff, what is your number one fear or excuse? The number one, let's focus on that for a minute. What was the number one thing that came to you while we were talking about all of that stuff? Now that you've defined that, what did you learn last week about it? But what are you going to do to improve that? Are you going to go to Amazon today and pick up 2 or 3 books about it? Are you going to go and search on Google and learn a little more about it, right? Are you going to take action and create the plan? Don't forget, you got to make at a minimum your 5 calls today, so please do that first. But we want to make sure you got 4 hours of relationship time a day. Can you spend an hour a day? 1 hour learning, creating the confidence, because 1 hour over a week is going to add up to 5 hours. 5 hours, 5 hours a week is going to add up to 20 hours. 20 hours over the next 30 days to help you improve and create more confidence. You think that's going to make a difference in your life? You think that's going to make a difference in your business? Absolutely it will. It's about the compound effect. It was one of the books that I referred to you guys in the first 4 weeks. Are you using the compound effect to help you, or are you using the compound effect to hurt you? Let's start helping you in order to get to where you want to go. Success, your challenge. All right, what are you willing to start doing? Write it down, right? Hopefully right now you're inspired, you're motivated. Maybe there's been some tear shedding, I don't know. But what are you willing to start doing? It's time to get real. I want you to write things down that you're going to start doing today. today, what are you willing to start doing and what are you willing to stop doing? What are you doing that's keeping you from becoming that best version? What are you doing to yourself subconsciously that you need to change? It's not going to be easy. There are some habits that you have that are going to take more than 21 to 30 days to get through. It may take you 6 months or a year, but now you're equipped, right? You're a dangerous person now. You are on your way to achieving success. And again, I believe in you. We're giving you the tools, the power, the strength, but you got to be motivated. You got to have that self-motivation to do what you need to do every single day. And your challenge. So how are you going to create confidence? We've just talked about that. How are you going to create confidence? And you need to have that plan. The next one, complete your weekly productivity planner. Again, I hope you guys are doing this because this is what's going to help you stay focused, right? Next week's going to be all about focus. I want you to stay focused on what's most important. You only can pick 3 things: something you love, something you like, and something new. And you've got to create confidence in each of those as well. See where I went with that? So what happens is so let's say that you want to farm a neighborhood. How do you become the best farming agent ever? You got to create confidence. How do you create confidence? You go through the 7 steps. You learn about what it takes to become the best farming agent. Like, there's research that has to be done before farming. So for instance, before you farm an area, first you got to pick where you want to work. Then there's statistics that you have to figure out. Like, how many of the homes are actually selling per year? Because if there's only 3% selling, you don't want to farm that area. There's not enough business going on. If there's 20%, if you're looking at a home, a section of homes that's 300 homes, and 60 of them are selling every year, you want to be farming that area. See what I mean? So how do you become masterful and create confidence? And you do that for real estate within your productivity planner. That's your part of your plan that you got to take action with. And the next is your tracker. Oh, the tracker. You guys, please, please, please utilize the tracker the best way that you can. Circle your goals every week. Print out a fresh one Monday through Sunday. Monday through Sunday, print it out. Circle your goals. I want you to circle 1 appointment a week, 2 appointments a week, 4 appointments a week, whatever it is that you have to hit that week. I'm not going to be mad, and you shouldn't get down on yourself if you don't hit your numbers, but you got to know. You got to know when you're having a great week, and you got to know when you have a crappy week. And you got to consistently improve every single week because it's about hitting those numbers and getting proficient in it. Next one, follow your schedule the best that you can. You've got a schedule now. You got 4 hours of relationship time, an hour of learning time. You got your free time, time off with your family. Like, I want you to enjoy your life. So do your best to follow your schedule. Master your mornings. Are you excited in the morning, right? Are you ready to go every single day? Do you know exactly what you need to do the night before so you're sleeping well, right? Please follow the schedule the best you can. This was a really big one. Oh, and watch Tim Ferriss's TED Talks about fear. So good. He's got 2 on there. Such good stuff. Another way of looking at how to handle fear, of how to push through the fear. And again, I kind of cut you some slack on the books this week. So you want to make sure that you go back to the last 3 weeks, and if there's any books that you haven't read, or if there's any specific audiobooks you need to get to help you with your fear, do that this week. Grab it today, listen to it in your car, read it at night, whatever works for you. Whew, that was a big one today. You've got a lot to think about, you got a lot to work on, and remember, you have the ability to face your fears because the more you lean into the struggle, the more that you stop allowing excuses to affect what you do, the more that you choose to live a successful life, the more success you're gonna get. Thanks so much for being here. Remember, we got the Q&A right after that, and I'm excited to talk a little bit more about the tracker, and I'm excited for you to share some of your fears, struggles, and excuses, and let's see if we can tackle some of that stuff today. Thanks again so much, and have a wonderful day.